Okay, so at the top of page 4, I want you to write this note. We are going to treat radicals like variables today. So what I mean by that is you're going to add and subtract only like terms, and you'll see what that means. Just like we do with variables. Like you can't add 5x and 6y. You can't say 11xy. You can't add an x and a y. You just can't do it. Okay? It's against the rules. So it's the same way with radicals, and that makes this easy. Okay? So if you look at number 1, for example, a square root of 3, 1 square root of 3 and plus 1 square root of 3, there's a 1 in front of those. If there's not a number, you can put 1. That's like saying 1x plus 1x. So it's just 2 square root of 3. You don't change this. You don't say square root of 6. It doesn't multiply. You just add the numbers in the front and keep the radical. And you can add those because they are the same radical. Okay? So 2 square root of 3. So what would we do for number 3? What would that be? 2 square root of 6. Good. Okay? Okay, so look at number 5, and that's a little bit different because now we have some subtraction. We have a negative number, and we have different radicals. So before we subtract anything, we're going to do that at the very end. We have to try to make this square root of 2 match this if we can by simplifying this 18 like we did yesterday. Okay? So we want to try to get it into a square root of 2 if possible so we can add them together. So remember yesterday we said 18, square root of 18, we can simplify that down and we're trying to figure out multiples of 18 that have a perfect square. One of the numbers has to be a perfect square. So 2 and 9, that's what I'm thinking of. Is 9 a perfect square? Yes, it's 3 times 3. So I put a square around that 9 to make myself remember that's a perfect square. So 9 is 3 times 3, right? Sorry. 9 is 3 times 3. So just like yesterday, we're going to pull that 3 outside, and then you're left with 3 times the square root of 2. Just like we did yesterday. We just simplified this 18, square root of 18 to 3 times the square root of 2. So this 2 stays inside the radical, inside the square root sign, because you can't simplify a 2 anymore. Okay? So 3 square root of 2 is what we ended up with. Okay? And then now we can add or subtract everything else to it. So we had negative 2 square root of 2 minus 2 times 3 square root of 2. So we still have, this is the kind of confusing part here. Before we can subtract this, we do need to multiply this negative 2 times that 3. So this becomes negative 6 square root of 2. So now we have a negative 2 square root of 2 minus 6 square root of 2. So now that our radicals are the same, we can add them or subtract them. So our answer is going to be something square root of 2 because it's like you just carry that square root of 2 on into your answer. And then you just add the numbers in front. Negative 2 minus 6. That's a negative 8. So that one was a little bit more tricky. If that blew your minds a little bit, it's okay. We're going to do another example. Actually, we're going to do several. Okay, so let's look at number 7. On number 7, square root of 6 is already simplified as much as it can go. Only multiples of 6 are 2 and 3, and those are not perfect squares, besides 1 and 6. So we want to try to get this square root of 24 to be something square root of 6 if possible. So what are some factors of 24 that would make a perfect square? What one of them's a perfect square? 6 and 4. 2 and 12. 12's not a perfect square. So then I would go to 3 and 8. 8's not a perfect square. But then I would go to 4 and 6. So 4 is a perfect square. Okay? It's 2 times 2. So now we're going to pull that 2 out. And I'm going to go ahead and just going to bring this negative in front of it because I would be multiplying it by at the end anyways. I'm sorry, yep. So negative 2 times the square root of 6, because I still had this 6 that I needed to put under a radical. Plus 3 square root of 6. So now my radicals are the same, and I can just add the coefficients, the numbers in front, like normal. Negative 2 plus a positive 3, what would that give you? 1 square root of 6. Or you could just put square root of 6. That's your answer. So number 9 has the same thing. We're just going to go again with 6 and 4. 4 is my square. 2 times 2. So I'm going to pull a 2 out. So what we just did is we changed square root of 24 to be 2 times the square root of 6. That 6 still stays in the radical. Okay, so we can't forget about this negative 3 in front of this that we need to multiply by. So when we do that, we get negative 3 times 2 is negative 6, square root of 6, minus 3 square root of 6. So remember your flip change, you get negative 6 plus negative 3, and that gives you a negative 9 square root of 6. Alright, look at number 11. So we want to see if we can get this 54 to be something square root of 6. Is 6 a factor of 54? Okay, so what is it? 6 times 9. Okay, good. Well, that works out because 9 is a perfect square. 3 times 3. So now it's going to be 3 square root of 6. That 6 still is there. Times 3, because we have that 3 in front of it to begin with. Alright. It's like not zoomed out very much. That's why. Okay, that's better. So what is this gonna be when we multiply this 3 times the 3? 9 square root of 6. Yeah. There you go. For those in the back. Okay, so we now have 9 square root of 6. And then we had this 2 square root of 6 that we needed to add to it at the beginning. So what's our answer going to be? 11 square root of 6. Good. Oh. Okay, so yes. We're going to see an example of that in just a second. Okay, so I'm going to leave you to do the evens by yourself in just a second. So let's flip to page 5. Page 5. And this is our last one. And we're going to skip number 13 because it didn't print very well. And some people's you can't even see it. So skip 13. And we're going to just do 3 more. And you're going to see that we may not be able to get it into the same one. So now look on 15, we have 3 terms that we're adding together. So we know right now we're not going to be able to add, like square root of 6 is, it's simplified the most you can get it. So it's never going to simplify to a square root of 2. So we already know for sure that this square root of 6 and this square root of 2 is going to be the same. And you can't add those together. So that's going to be in our answer. So let's see if we can, what we can do with this 18 here. So the 18 looks like we can do 2 times 9 because 9 is a perfect square. And that's 3 times 3. So that would be 3 times the square root of 2 is what square root of 18 simplifies to be. And then we have this negative 2 that's in front of it that we need to multiply. So we get negative 6 square root of 2 on that. So I'm just going to just translate down here. I'm just going to copy this down, just moving this down. 3 square root of 6 minus 2 square root of 2 minus 6 square root of 2. Okay? Okay. So we can add the like ones that we can, and then we'll keep the other one. It just has to stay the same. So on this one, yes. So you would just add these two and keep 3 square root of 6. 3 square root of 6, that's just part of your answer. And then you have a negative 2 minus 6 is a negative 8 square root of 2. That's your answer. Okay. Shoot. I gotta take this call because I think these people are the people installing gutters in my house right quick. See if you can go back and do the evens right quick on the first page, and then I'll do the last two with you. Hello, this is Megan. I'm good. Okay. Right. Yeah, I know y'all have to always, you never know what to expect with the weather. Right. Yes, go ahead and, you just let me know your availability because you tell me that and then I can tell you if that works. Okay, let me look just a second. Yes, all I have is my son's kindergarten graduation that evening, and so I don't think that's you're not going to be doing that at 7:30 p.m., so, okay. Okay, and my husband and I both we work outside the home, so we're not going to be there. Does somebody need to be there when you get there? Okay. Okay, yeah, we can leave something for you. My parents live next door, so they can always help you as well. They're home during the day. Yeah, y'all did their house, I think. Their gutters. So, and I don't have any outside dogs. I just have a little dog in the inside, and she's probably going to bark, but she won't do anything. All right. Thank you so much. All right, bye-bye. Okay. Apologize to those of you who are maybe watching this from home about that. Forgot that you were holding there. Okay, so we're going to skip 17 just because I wrote on it and we're good with just doing one more. So everybody go to number 19. Number 19. Number 19 is actually pretty easy. Why? They're all square root of 8, right? So you can just add the numbers in front, 3 plus 2 plus 2, and that equals what? 7 square root of 8. And normally, I'm going to be honest with you, whenever I was doing this earlier, I stopped here and I was like, answer. But actually, 8 is not simplified all the way. So you have to make sure in your answers that it is simplified all the way, because you can simplify 8 to be 2 times 4, and 4 is a perfect square. So that's what we're going to do, 2 times 2. We're going to change that to be 2 times the square root of 2. That's the same thing as square root of 8. 2 times square root of 2. So then we would just multiply that times that 7 in the front, and you get 14 square root of 2. That's actually the answer. Okay? Okay, so that's it for today. And you guys just need to do the even numbers. And again, on Friday, I'm checking for completion of this packet. I do want to let you know that my son I won't be here tomorrow. He's had some ear infections, like 3 in the last month. And so I have to take him to get tubes in his ears, and he has to do his like pre-appointment tomorrow. It's in the Woodlands, the doctor we have to see. So I won't be here because I have to take him to that in the morning. But it's easy because it's proportions. If you look at the next section, and you guys know how to do proportions, you're basically cross-multiplying and dividing. And I'm going to film a short video that you're going to watch tomorrow with the sub, and I'll do the odds with you, and then you'll just do the evens, and then that's it for tomorrow. We'll finish up on Thursday with 11. Oh, wait, there is an 11. You will do, I'll do the odds with you, and then you'll do this worksheet on page 8 on your own tomorrow after we do I do the notes with you on the video, and then Thursday we'll do 11.5, and then we'll finish up Friday with the equations review at the end. And then we'll be done. So today you guys are supposed to be meeting with your grade levels. They're supposed to be calling you to the commons, I believe, during second period to go over exemptions with you. So, yeah.
So on number 6, 10,
Yes.
I did it, and I got 3 8s plus 9 square root of 2, or not 3 8, 3 square root of 8.